Hey guys, real quick on this video that you're getting ready to watch, I do realize the whole video is out of focus. What happened was the camera somehow got switched into manual focus and the whole video is blurry. So guys, I know what the problem is. I fixed it, and I thought long and hard about going back and reshooting the video, but sometimes there's just certain things that you can't go back and reshoot. I've kind of already done some demo on the boat, and kind of hard to reshoot something that you've already tore apart. So guys, just wanted to apologize for that and hope you all enjoy the video. Hey guys, Cody here, KIG Outdoors, and today we're back out in the shop getting ready to start on this conversion. What we have before us is a 12-foot V-hull aluminum craft 1974 12-foot John boat. Now, I might regret this, but for the price, I almost couldn't pass it up. Guys, when I seen this advertised online, and guys, right now is the time to be buying these. It's winter time. People don't want to store them. They got them outside. They want them out of their way. Right now is the time to be buying a boat. But when I saw this on, I actually bought this off Facebook Marketplace. I actually saw it on there. They advertised it as a 13-footer, and I knew right off the bat that I've never heard of a 13-foot John boat. Y'all can probably prove me wrong, but I have never heard of one, and I actually tried to do some research and could not find one. So I was hoping this was a 14-foot V-hull. So when I went and looked at it, went to measure it, I actually broke my tape measure while I was measuring this. You know, just bad luck, I guess. But I kind of took the guy's word. He said, yeah, it's a 13-footer. And I was like, all right, well, you know, I can't do what you're asking for. I think he was asking $500 for it, and I said, man, I can't do that. How about $350? We ended up getting back and forth, talking. He ended up, and it's actually registered as a 12-foot 6. So this, when I got it home and I backed it into the garage, I took another tape measure, measured it, and it's actually 12 foot. So, guys, it is what it is. I kind of wanted a 14-foot. That 2-foot is kind of crucial when you're a big guy like me, but I think this is going to be a great first project. I don't have a lot of money in it. Plus, you know, also with the deal, I wanted to just kind of throw this out here, guys. When you make these deals, man, there's people that will sweeten the pot, and this guy just happened to be moving, and he was like, "Here, take this shit, take that." I mean, I got a brand new battery charger, a brand new battery, 1974 10 or 8-pound thrust, 2-speed forward only trolling motor. Yeah, boy. And 4 or 5 life jackets, you know. Plugs and trailer, and guys, there it is. $350. I couldn't pass it up. But I think in the long run, I will regret not getting a bigger one. But we're going to try our hardest to convert this boat into a mini bass boat. Now, if you're watching this, by all means, watch it. But if you're trying to get advice, if you're trying to see somebody that really knows what they're doing and does this on a daily basis, there's actually 2 YouTubers that I watch quite a lot. One of them being Michael Lopez. He lives out in Arizona or something like that, and Fire Ant Fishing. Now, Michael Lopez is the guy who I primarily will, you know, watch. Fire Ant Fishing, he kind of doesn't make videos like he was. He kind of got his boat done and he moved on to fishing or whatever he's doing now. But Michael Lopez, that guy, if you really want to see some sick John boats, check him out. I'll try to put a link down below. Check that guy out, guys. He's tough. He actually made one just like this. They call it the Yak Killer, and it actually got rear-ended earlier this year. A car hit the back of it and destroyed the boat, and he loved that boat so much he actually made it for somebody else, and he's kind of like sponsoring the guy, but they're actually putting together one that's a little bit bigger. But he actually called it a Yak Killer, and in a lot of his videos he'll go on to tell you why he calls it a Yak Killer. At that time he was doing an all wood framing. He's actually moved into aluminum framing now, which that's what I plan on trying to do, is doing some aluminum framing. But he actually demonstrated without the outboard motor in it and the battery in it. 2 guys picked this up no problem. Now, a kayak, you could probably pick up by yourself, in my opinion. But you know, I'm all for kayaks. I love kayak fishing. I have a kayak. You've seen in some of my previous videos, I've done some modifications on it. I think I put a trolling motor that looks just like this on the back of it. But I'm actually working on a deal. Hopefully it comes through. Hopefully, you know, everything pans out and I get my hands on a actual fishing kayak. I'm really looking forward into that because where I live, we have about 3 creeks, I have 3 ponds that I can fish within a mile away. I actually want to use this for the ponds and the deep creeks and kind of the smaller lakes. We probably don't live in a radius of 50 miles, maybe 49, 50 miles, somewhere in there to the closest lake, big body water lake. So by all means, you get home and you want to do a little fishing, hook this up to the truck and take it out and do a little fishing with the kids, you know, or just by yourself. One thing that it really kind of excites me about the whole deal is being able to stand up and fish, you know, how shall I say it, shallower water, get off the bank and get into the water in these little ponds and creeks and stuff like that. I think this is going to be a pretty cool thing. Now, I do plan on still using the kayak if I get my hands on it. So I just kind of got my hands on this first, and this is kind of the route that I'm going. But guys, that's where I want to head, and we'll go ahead and start tearing this thing apart and getting down to the basics. So I'm gonna go ahead and tell you right off the bat what I plan on doing is getting everything cleaned out. I'm gonna come in and take all the bench seats out of it and basically have an empty shell, and that's probably where we'll get to tonight once we get all that completed. Blow it out, kind of start laying things out where we want it, trying to figure it all out, trying to start marking it down, planning it out, because right now it's all up here. I need to get it on paper and put it in here. So I just kind of wanted to show y'all what's going on, start doing a little work, and what some of my ideals are. So long run and the outcome of this, I want it to be foot drive trolling motor with a deck, live well, 3 or 4 or 5 storage places, cooler, and then try to put an outboard motor on the back. I think one of my friends has got one. I'm gonna try to maybe borrow it, or if he makes me buy it, whatever. But you know, I actually want to try to do a tournament fish out of this little John boat. When it's all said and done, you get it all decked out, lights, nav lights, you know, water pumps and all that good stuff. I actually want to try to do a fishing tournament on it. So that's the end result. I think it would be fun and not so much of a challenge for the person that's fishing in the boat, but it's kind of like you don't need a $100,000 boat to win a bass tournament. You don't need a $100,000 boat to go fishing and have a good time. So all you need is a $350 12-foot John boat. So guys, let's get started. We'll tear into this and go from there. Here we go. You know, this might not be a bad thing to put on a kayak. This thing's pretty small. Cut it down, you know, right there and put it on the back of a kayak. We might be onto something there. Might be a future video. Alright guys, we got her stripped down. We basically got an empty V-hole John boat here. I went ahead and was playing around with some of the totes, some of the ideals that I kind of want to go and do, kind of where I want them. I'm not 100% on any of it. Obviously, I'm going to put the live well towards the rear. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a rod locker down through there. And it's probably almost going to be half the boat. The bad thing about it, it's probably going to be half the boat. This is probably going to be live well. I'm going to try to keep it towards the rear. That way, you know, might have to have a fuel tank back here. So we're going to go 3 foot on the rear for the rear deck. We're going to have a 6 foot deck on the front. And what's left over, I might actually pull this, might be 3.5. Whatever's left over, we're going to use it, you know, to put your feet while you're driving the motor. I might switch the big box to the rear. That way, it's, you know, it makes sense. You ain't got to sit there and, you know, get up if you're on a post or something and come back to open it. So I'll probably move this back. Of course, the rod locker is probably going to end right about here and go back. This is still going to be where the tips come up through for storage and everything else. Like I said, guys, I don't have it 100% laid out. I'm probably going to draw it out, think about it while I'm sleeping, and go from there. But guys, we are going to do aluminum framing. Some of the videos I've been watching, they use an 1.5 inch angle, and really all this is somewhere for you to attach your deck to. I decided to step down to an inch angle. You know, I want to keep this boat as light as I can, and so what we do is we come in here and we notch this every so often to match the bend of the V-hole. Obviously, we won't have to notch too much back here, but the good thing about this is the reason I went this way is we've got plenty of ribs in this this boat, and we can put 1 inch square tubing up to these and support the deck real easy, and not use a whole lot of weight doing it in the process. But one thing I also wanted to mention, if you look at this V-hole, I actually do not like the design of the drainage system in there, and I'll bring y'all in closer to get a closer look. It's basically got like little crinkle in each rib, and that's how water can transfer from the front to the back, as long as it's not above the rib. Now if you get enough water in here and it flows over the rib, well, it's going to go to the next rib, and then the next rib, and then the next rib. So I really don't like that, but there's really nothing I can do about it. Make sure the holes are cleaned out, and you know, hope you never get water in your boat. I just kind of think that's kind of odd that they did it that way, but you know, it's worked this long. It ain't sunk yet, so we'll go from there. But guys, that's all I got. I hope you like what we got going on here. I hope you like what a little bit of a kind of a new thing that I'm doing on KIG Outdoors, and I hope you enjoy it. I'm gonna try my best to enjoy it. I'm gonna try to make this fun for me, and hopefully fun for you guys to watch, and I'm gonna enjoy it that way. When it gets springtime, I can enjoy this thing. So guys, that's all I've got. Thank you for watching KIG Outdoors. If you've got any comments, leave them down below. Any questions, leave them down below, and I'll try my best to get back to you. Guys, that's all I got. Till next time, we'll see you.